In the previous video we looked at questions 16 and 17 of Unit 7. Now we're going to look at questions 18 and 19. So, questions 18 and 19, here we go. We've got flour and baking powder. Now this is a slightly different question. This is asking us to work out what the ratio between flour and baking powder is according to this following recommendations of ratios of ingredients. Now notice that flour and baking powder aren't connected. There's no equation with flour and baking powder in them. What they're asking us here is how to create that equation. Now we know that apricots divided by flour equals 1.33, or 4/3 as we've written. Okay, so now we want to get an expression for purely apricots, and then we can substitute that into this equation, which connects apricots and baking powder. So if we have a look, we have apricots over flour equals 4/3. Multiply both sides by flour to get rid of the divided by. Apricots equals 4 flours divided by 3. We have our expression for apricots. We know that apricots over baking powder equals 40. So we have apricots over baking powder equals 40. We can replace apricots with 4 flour over 3. This is just substitution, which you should be familiar with. So we have 4 flour divided by 3 over baking soda equals 40. And we want to turn this into flour over baking soda. We've got 4 over 3 here. If we multiply both sides by 3 over 4, we'll get rid of that 4 over 3. So we have flour over baking soda equals 3 over 4 times 40. Flour, therefore this flour over baking soda becomes, or 40 divided by 4 is 10, 10 times 3 is 30, and that's our D value there. Notice how heavy on algebra this particular question is, or set of questions. You are going to need to be as good at algebra as you possibly can. Also notice that this is fraction work. You need to be able to understand fractions for the AST, fractions and algebra, and you need to be able to work with them without using a calculator. My strong recommendation is practice doing algebraic and fraction questions without a calculator so that you can solve these. Okay, let's do question 19. Another apricot cake recipe recommends adding almonds to the mixture with a ratio of almonds to apricots of 1 to 5. So this means almonds over apricots equals 1 over 5. If this cake is made with 600 grams of flour, what quantity of almonds should be added? Okay, so we've got our new equation, almonds over apricots equals 1/5, and we're talking here about apricots and flour. Apricots and flour, we have our ratio, apricots over flour equals 4/3. Okay, so we have apricots over flour equals 4/3, and we have almonds over apricots equals 1/5. And we're given 1. We've got 600 grams of flour, so we've given our 1 known that we can replace this with. Okay, and so we're going to have apricots over 600 equals 4/3, and we're going to solve this by multiplying by 600. Apricots equals, well, we've got 4 times 600. 600 divided by 3 is 200. 4 times 200 is 800. You won't have to do those in your head. You can work them out, but it's a lot faster. Remember, you've got a limited time in these, so you need to do as best you can in that respect. So now we have almonds over apricots, and we know apricots are 800 equals 1/5. Okay, so basically we can just multiply both sides by 800. Almonds equal 800 over 5. 800 divided by 10 would be 80, so therefore we need to double 80, so almonds is going to equal 160, and if we look at our section, that is C. Again, heavy on fractions, heavy on algebra. These are the things that you're going to need to make sure you know how to do for the AST.